What is up, guys? Today I want to try something a bit new. I keep track of the PBE a lot to see what things might change, but also because it tells me what champions Riot are looking at, who they think need a nerf, a buff, and who they are testing things with. The point of this video is exactly that. Look at who might be changed, what way they are thinking of changing them, and what champions they are looking at. Remember, this is the PBE. The numbers might change, the changes might not even go through, but this gives us an insight into what Riot is thinking and testing. Remember, they have their own testers at Riot who must have tried these as well. If you like this idea with my kind of personal insight as well, then let me know. Leave a like, leave a dislike if you don't, and let me know what change you'd like to see in the comments. So first, let's talk about Irelia and Swain, and actually let's talk about Blitzcrank as well. All are being changed in the same way, having their ultimate cooldowns increased a lot, especially early. Remember, the numbers can change, but to give you an idea, Blitz is now doubled from 30 to 60 early, Swain from 10 to 30 seconds, and Irelia from 70 to 110 seconds. A writer actually gave some context on these, so for Irelia, they kind of want to open up more windows for trading, especially now because you can ult, you can base and then have it up again. They want to create these kind of opportunities to punish that ult cooldown. For Swain, they ideally want something you can use once, maybe twice in a long fight in an actual team fight, and for Blitzcrank, so it's not every hook is followed up by a fart from your ult. This is actually an interesting way to balance these guys, something we don't see that often actually. In my opinion, it's better than just reducing their damage in their kit. These are also things you can play around as the actual player playing like Irelia or Blitzcrank. You can avoid these trades until you have the cooldown back. It adds a bit more counterplay, but it's manageable for both sides. At least now we know from these changes that they are looking to reduce power levels on all three of these, Irelia, Swain, and Blitz, and being the same way, it seems this might be a more common strategy now, aiming at cooldowns to increase windows to fight. Vlad is another one we all kind of expected, and this actually makes a lot of sense to me because this is how I expected him to be balanced, at least for like the past few patches. The problem right now is he stacks health rather than AP, this kind of tank that does a huge amount of damage, and while that kind of is the point of Vlad, it's supposed to be more about surviving and less about damage. Reducing the base damage and increasing the scaling is the obvious way to do this, and how they actually kind of dealt with Echo. They reduced his base, they increased AP ratios, but it doesn't actually always work, as we've kind of seen. It's more to do with like the items you're building rather than champion numbers, I think. Plus, actually with like Echo, it's kind of gone a little bit too far. Like now AP Echo can one-shot people, which is kind of the opposite of the point. In my opinion, the thing that will probably get hit soon is the healing from his ult when it pops, because that is insane. Like you can ultimate, you can then Zonya, and you've healed a ton by the time you come out of it. Savoli is also getting a change. They seem like they want to target his farming though more than anything else, which might curb his early game a little bit, I guess. At the moment, they're hitting attack speed per stack on his W, quite a bit rank 1 actually, and longer cooldown when using it against minions than normal. It's actually kind of losing like 9% rank 2, pretty decent chunk actually, but still once he gets his Cinderhulk, it's not going to matter because he can farm through that. In my opinion, tank junglers are very healthy for the game. It opens up a lot more options. There's like a lot more viable picks, I guess, but Cinderhulk just synergizes so well with Volley getting damage from health stacking anyway. Even if you're going to target his damage this way, you're still going to have a lot of damage anyway with your actual bite, so I'm not sure it's really going to be enough. He's been at the top for a few patches now, so we do at least know that he's likely getting pushed down a bit now, and Riot are looking at him. It seems they want to reduce his damage output more than anything else though, so still leave him as a solid tank. Sona is one that I didn't expect to see, and actually especially didn't expect to see this many changes. Like these are almost like mini rework level to how everything interacts properly. Basically, the Q cooldown is going to be up, damage down, range up, proc damage for the autos up slightly higher. The W heal is down, the range is up though, and the actual shield is up, and your E cost is down, and move speed is up, range is up as well. The ultimate is the biggest difference though, because it doesn't make your QWE better now, it doesn't empower them anymore per rank, but it reduces the base cooldown of them by 20, 40, or 60%. It looks like they really want to target her early game a little bit, make like her actually less of the problem, but buffing her allies better. Plus the new ult change means that she can spam and swap stuff so much quicker, making it again more about what aura you have active, not just kind of like an ult bot and then you do nothing. In my opinion, this must be Riot looking at Nami, Soraka, and Janna, these defensive supports, and saying, okay, they are strong, so instead of nerfing them, how about we get the others up to the same level? I honestly prefer this approach. If other defensive supports are just a bit better, then bring the others up to the same level. And at least we know now though, they are probably thinking Sona is a bit weaker than she should be. This next one is one of the bigger ones actually. Well, I mean, it's not like that big of a change, but it's a change I didn't see coming. Kindred's W is now no longer going to heal on the PBE. They're just cutting out the passive part of it, like completely, building up stacks and healing her when she's at 100. It's true that the near changes did bring her down a little bit for us plebs, and Kindred is still good, but I don't think she's like so strong that she needs her sustain completely bummed as well. It is weird to me because she's like an AD carry in the jungle, right? Without the heal for her farming, it's going to suffer, but I guess that's kind of the point. Riot are looking at reducing her power level powerful while ideally not removing her damage. It probably means Nid has escaped a bit for now as well. If they are still tweaking Kindred and not her, then at least she's settled a bit, likely to be kind of where they want her to be. The other thing as well is if they're targeting her sustain, then it means actually they're okay with having damage in the jungle. Like they don't mind these Kha'Zix Nidalee Kindred picks killing everyone, but they just don't want them to be so well rounded. Like they don't want them to be so safe and do damage. The final one is to Jarvan here to kind of make him a bit of a better team fighter while a weaker laner split push, I guess. Nobody actually maxes their W for a while, so it seems a little bit odd to me, really. Like the numbers aren't changed at rank 1 anyway. It increases at later ranks when teammates are around. This is something a lot of people actually don't know about Jarvan because he's not very popular anymore, but his shield has a base value and then it has another added on top for how many champions are around him. The only thing I can get from this is they're trying to move a little bit away from full damage assassin Jarvan. It seems it's the only thing I can think of. They want Jarvan in team fights, so they want this kind of bruiser tank Jarvan, not full damage and sit in the side lane. The interesting thing for me is they just had this like massive Alawi change that's actually made her really good right now. They just changed the Triforce to be really good for bruisers like Aurelia and Jack, so it seems like actually they're trying to shift the meta a bit more into carry bruiser top laners. So anyway, that wraps up the first episode of these first looks. They're not going to be particularly long videos because I want to get to the point. I don't want to like give you a load of crap, but let me know what you think about this. I know these changes are not final, so remember that a lot might change numbers wise or even not make it, but I find it interesting to see what they are trying and what direction they are thinking of going in. That's all for now though, so let's go to the robots.